This week on Amazingly Terrible, we're watching Spawn, episode 16, Hunter's Moon.
I've seen the engraving on your tomb.
Okay. Nice. You're listening to Amazingly Terrible, the podcast that asks, what's on the mind of the oratrice mécanique d'Annalise Cardinal? My name's Adam.
I'm Matt.
I'm Mike.
What did you just say?
Apparently, there's a voice actor that does a voice in Genshin Impact, the video game, and he says he's talking about a like an official of some type. And he says it is the oratrice mécanique d'Annalise Cardinal, and then it's turned into a big soundbite online where people are like dancing to it and putting it to the tune of Another One Bites the Dust. So, and it's been on my mind a lot recently, so I figured I'd just throw it in here.
Oh, all right. Well, thank you for explaining what you just said.
No problem.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
All right, so yeah, this week we're watching Spawn, and yeah, there's not a whole lot. We're coming in like mid-episode or like mid-storyline, so there's shit that's happening, but it's not a lot of shit that's happening. It's just shit.
I have so many questions about this show, and none of them are. It's just I know nothing about Spawn other than he was a cool-looking character from the 90s.
Yeah.
And now that you've watched the episode, what do you know about Spawn? Nothing.
Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
I got a couple surface-level facts. He's from hell. Without his mask on, he looks like a meatball.
Yeah.
He fights bad guys, I think.
I think
Meatball Spawn.
People who are evidently bounty hunters from heaven, but are also other forms of demons and shit, are after him. He bleeds green blood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a fat man and a skinny guy who are the cops, and one of them is clairvoyant.
He fights 1970s corruption in the 1990s. That's what he does.
That's exactly what it does. Yes,
I legitimately, the way that the opening to the show starts, and then the very beginning of the episode, the first question I had was, I thought that Spawn was set in like the modern times from the comic was written, because it looked like he was set in like the 1500s. Like he's in this like fucked up church with like steeples and stuff, and I'm like, where? And then they're like, oh, this is modern New York City. I'm like, where do they have vampires buried in New York City? Like,
I mean, the place is lousy with them. I will say this for the show. It's in-fucking-comprehensible.
That is true.
So
that is the case.
It's awful. It's
Yeah.
pandering.
Yeah.
It's
Like exploitative.
inappropriate for children.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, in all fairness, this was supposed to be a cartoon for adults. This came on HBO, so
Yeah. Back when kids weren't allowed to watch HBO because they might get AIDS.
when HBO wasn't TV, it was HBO.
Yeah.
Well, was it HBO or MTV that had Aeon Flux?
MTV had the Aeons.
Okay, so
Yeah, it was part of Liquid Television. TV that'll give you AIDS.
you might have to repeat
Jesus
that.
Christ! The only thing that came through on our side was TV that gives you AIDS.
Yep, that's all we heard either.
Yeah, I've repeated that joke like 3 times now.
That's a surprise soundbite when it goes into editing.
Yeah.
I think we should have David do this one. since he isn't here to hear it.
Just walk into this train wreck.
Every time I'm breaking up, just yell as loud as you possibly can into the microphone.
We'll treat it like Pee Wee Herman.
Oh yeah.
It'll be the word of the day.
Yeah. Treat me like Pee Wee Herman. That's all I ask.
Yes.
Treat me like Pee Wee Herman.
That's all you've ever asked.
Yeah, ostracize me for my masturbation.
Well, only if it's in public.
Yeah, destroy my career because I'm a jerk off.
Yeah, destroy your
Literally.
Your lucrative and well-received career. Is that the right word? Like, people used to love that show.
Critically acclaimed.
Critically acclaimed. There we go. That's the
What causes people to self-destruct?
time.
And pressure?
No, just time.
Just time.
Literally just time.
What is it? You die a hero or you live long enough to be the villain?
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, those are your two options.
That's it.
Get on
There's
it,
no
Mike.
nuance. No.
There's no nuance. That's it.
Yeah,
That's it.
there's no gray area at all.
We
And
are
everybody knows
You're not
that
allowed to retire.
You're
we are
either
40-year-old men
Yeah.
who are looking back at cartoons for 13-year-old boys. There's zero nuance in this podcast.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
People are good guys and they're bad guys because that's what cartoons in the 90s taught us.
yeah. Also, because we think we're Republicans, and that's what we think.
We think we're Republicans,
We think we're Republicans.
and that's what we think. Yeah. Nice.
Why don't I take charge of this train wreck? You guys are
Yeah.
incompetent. You don't know how to do
That's right.
podcasting. And gentle listeners, we do not have our
David.
our
fearless
pilot,
leader.
our guiding light.
Yeah, we don't have our business manager. We don't have our pod daddy.
Our senpai.
Yeah, the yin to our yang.
Sensei.
Our pod daddy David's not here.
No, sensei.
We call him Big Papa.
But only when he's not listening.
Yeah.
Big Papa pod daddy.
Yeah, so we're on our own. We got to run this podcast ourselves. So you strap in, listeners.
Yeah.
Tie that
It's
dick
gonna be a-
down.
Strap
be a
on
bumpy
or strap
ride.
in.
It's going to be a wild, incomprehensible, confusing ride.
Since the dawn of time, man has wondered, what if my penis lived alone in the woods and was poisonous?
Amen, brother.
Just like
That's
the
right.
episode that
Just
we watched.
the way we want it.
Yeah.
All right. I think we should start with the one universe theory.
No.
No. I'm so glad we got rid of that.
Oh my god, let's start with something Blue Mountain Bean.
Yeah. Everybody.
Strap down your Blue Mountain beanhole. 'Cause it's
Dicks
gonna
on the
be a
table,
bumpy
everybody.
ride.
All
But
right,
it's
so-
cold.
So who
The
skipped
table's
leg day in
cold.
this episode?
Everybody.
Do you think if we all had
Not the vampire.
Do you think if we had our Blue Mountain beans all tucked up inside, we could put our dicks on the table and play like a game of Hungry Hungry Hippo?
Do we have
No.
to acknowledge this?
But I think having
just-
the beans tucked in though will keep us warm during the wintertime.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like the old song goes, when the weather outside is frightful, and your beans are in your tight hole.
Yep.
Fucking Christ.
Yeah.
I got nothing else.
Let's talk about the history of Spawn.
You just want to get right into it?
You want to? Yeah. You want to? Or do
We've
you want to?
marinated enough.
No, I think we merit enough. I think we just get right into it.
Yeah.
There's not a whole lot in
Yeah.
this.
And I don't respect or like any of you anymore. So
Yeah.
Well, you haven't liked or respected us since you were 13, so
I haven't respected you,
But you still like
but I
us.
like you. Yes.
Okay. But now you don't like us.
No.
Okay. All right. So, Spawn, the animated series, is based off of. I'm sorry, Todd McFarlane's Spawn, also known as Spawn, the animated series, is based off of the comic book Spawn. Was written by Todd McFarlane, Seth MacFarlane's older brother,
Yeah.
and
It wasn't his dad.
Is
oh
that
yeah, his
true?
dad. There
Like,
we go.
Was he?
No,
No,
they're not
related
related
at all.
Not
Alright.
even a little bit.
Why was he such a big name? I remember as a kid when this came out, and it was like Todd McFarlane Spawn. What? How did his name pull weight, or did he just be like, "We're attaching my name to this shit. People
I
are gonna
think
like it."
I think it was a former, but yeah, Matt.
Yeah. Yeah,
you
Todd
guys.
McFarlane was like a superstar artist, and he did a ton of work for
Okay.
Spider-Man and really made his name. And then he was part of the group of artists that moved from Marvel to form Image Comics with Jim Lee and Rob Liefeld and, like a bunch of like superstar level talent. And he had one of the comics that was both stylistically very cool and was pretty well written. So he had one of the like really breakout characters from the Image Comics time period.
And
Gotcha.
they made a movie from it, which starred what's his face?
John Leguizamo was in that movie, wasn't he? Was
Yes,
the bad
he
guy?
was.
Yeah, he played the Violator. No, the main bad guy was
Martin Sheen?
Martin Sheen. Yeah, Martin Sheen played the real bad guy, the guy that played the senator that killed Spawn when he was a human, and then like made a deal with the devil or something, and then had like a nuke strapped to his heart. And yeah, it was ludicrous.
So yeah, I mean, let's say it was well written for the time.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
Let me give you a quick rundown of the plot, so you might know where we are in here.
No. Tell us more about Spawn's history.
Yes. Well, I mean, the only real history I have is just that. I wanted to kick it over to you for the comic book side of things. They made the 1997 movie from it, and then after the movie, they made this series. This is 1997 to 1999. That's all I really got.
Okay.
Is there anything else you want to throw in there about the comic and the series and all that?
I never read it, but it was very well received, commercial success.
Yes.
And they thought that this was going to be like a breakout cross-platform success, but after the movie, it kind of fizzled.
Yeah.
Tonally, it's always been all over the place. So I feel like this cartoon actually is more consistent tonally than the comic was.
Really?
Yeah.
Even to the point where we see Spawn back in his human life beating his wife.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Because McFarlane's style is intensely cartoony, and he would do these almost silly character designs, and then they would be talking about then he murdered him, and there was blood everywhere.
So it's super edgelord.
Super edgelord.
They licked the body clean.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess that's true in this fucking one. All right. So in Spawn, the plot of the TV series, at the very least, which I think actually does follow the plot of comics pretty well.
Seems to.
You have a Marine Force recon, Lieutenant Colonel Al Simmons, an assassin, basically, who gets betrayed by someone he believes he's been betrayed by, and gets killed and goes to hell. So, as he was dying, he vowed to get revenge on the guy that killed him, somebody named Chapel. So, when he gets to hell, he makes a deal with some demon to come back to Earth.
Malbuja,
yes. Makes a deal with Malbuja to come back to Earth and get his revenge. And I guess Malbuja wants to he's the overlord of the 8th plane of hell. He wants to release the Spawn onto the world in order to just wreak havoc, I guess. But the subtext, the backdrop is there's a big war, maybe a Cold War that's going on between hell and heaven, and both sides keep accumulating forces, and there's small skirmishes that take place, and Spawn kind of gets caught up in that particular dynamic. When he gets back to Earth, he's not in his own body. He's in some festering, moldering, decrepit body, and it turns out that it's 5 years later when he comes to. First stop he goes to is to check out his wife, who's remarried to his best friend and has a daughter. and then apparently he follows his best friend, who turns out is working for some dude in the CIA named Jason Wynn. And then Jason Wynn is actually the person that got Al Simmons killed and turned into the Spawn. So that leads to the weird crossover random shit. But apparently Spawn realizes that his wife has moved on, eventually realizes his wife has moved on, and it's okay, now I'm going to protect my wife and her family as my thing here on Earth. In the meantime, Malbolgia is upset that the Spawn isn't actually killing more people, so that's when he sends the Violator to go basically try to prod Spawn into being a bad guy and to fight everybody. And apparently the entire series is about the emotional turmoil that Spawn is going through, trying to remain good while also being drawn towards evil and doing the evil acts by the Violator. In the series, this series depicts Spawn as this dark figure that just lives in alleyways and kills anyone that comes in the alleyways.
Well, let's be honest. This episode should be titled Spawn. Spawn breaks a window.
Yeah, it really should be. It really should be.
Oh my gosh.
So one of the other characters that does pop up in this episode, unfortunately we don't get the chance to see the Violator, but we do see Cagliostro. And Cagliostro is the old man that has found Spawn And Cagliostro used to be a Hellspawn himself, and he managed to overcome the demonic draws of his power. And now he's trying to redeem and save Al Simmons.
Yeah, he wasn't explained at all. I was
Not
like,
at all.
who's the old guy from Blade, and why is he helping?
Yeah,
Spawn?
who's Grandpa?
So the other thing that you really need to know about this animated series is that the casting director got Keith David to agree to play Al Simmons, and then said, "My job is done," and washed his hands of everything else.
That's awesome.
Because the voice acting in this fucking series is horrific.
With one exception.
With Keith David, yes.
Yeah.
So the only other there's two other big names in here. One is Ronnie Cox, and I don't even think he was in this episode. He plays like a senator, and he's a face actor. If you see him, you'll be like, oh yeah, it's that guy.
Yep.
And then also Ming-Na Wen played Lisa Wu / Jade, the reporter /
assassin agent of heaven or something.
Yes, exactly. She's actually a face actress as well. If you saw her, I think she's been in like Marvel movies, and I think she might have been in Hawaii, the new Hawaii Five-0. Played a character in that, but you couldn't tell from her voice acting in this. It was fucking awful.
Yeah. Well, also the script for a lot of scenes was very confusing and not well written.
Yeah. I'm going to try to go through this quickly against my normal compulsions, just because I don't think we need to be talking that long about Spawn. So in this particular episode,
Spawn broods in the dark.
Hunter's Moon. We start with a scene where there's a pimp and two fellas beating up a prostitute. And
Wait, you missed the part where we have weird, exposition dialogue.
Oh, yes,
just
I'm
explaining how sad Spawn is.
Yes, yeah. The narrator, and that's the thing. As soon as you hear the narrator, you're like, oh my fucking god, who the hell is narrating this fucking show?
But literally they have like 3 sentences, maybe.
This is the worst acting you could possibly think of, and like the voice is just like not compelling at all. And you know who that is?
Who?
Todd McFarlane.
Ah, there he is.
He insisted on being the narrator in his own fucking cartoon.
Yeah.
Despite having like no talent when it comes to the vocal stuff.
Well, Todd
stuff.
McFarlane, famously known for his modesty.
Yeah. But yeah, we start the episode off with a few pimps beating a prostitute. The Spawn just sort of watches this. You think that he'd actually get involved in some fashion to stop them, but no, instead he has a flashback to when his wife finds out he's an assassin and he beats her for it.
Yeah.
So random.
Yeah. It gets broken up by the cops showing up, and the cops recognize a prostitute, and like she walks away, and it's like a whole thing.
Yeah, and this is the beginning of my problems.
The beginning of the episode? Yeah.
Well, it's like we were talking about the time period of this. Like, clearly this show was made in 1990. The 90th 90 of all that ever 90.
Yes.
It does not get any more peak than that.
Yeah. But
Indeed.
apparently it's set in, like, a New York that's beset with 1970s problems.
Yeah. Well, this is almost like the World of Darkness. What do they call that? They call it like gothic punk or something like that?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
This is just sort of like gothic noir, maybe? Or gothic...
It's not good noir, though.
No, I know. It's like, I'm trying to think of like what the 80s boiler room power broker...
It's gothic punk? Or like,
Nah,
it's like cyberpunk or steampunk?
It's just bad, is really what it is. It's just dark for the sake of being dark.
Post-gothicism?
It is edgelordy, though, because it's just trying so hard in every direction to think that it's cool and hard.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So we then cut to some innocent young woman, blonde woman, coming off of a bus, getting to New York for the first time, and the three pimps spot her, and they're like, "Oh, let's introduce ourselves and seduce this young lady to become a prostitute." And the only thing I can think of is the 30 Rock episode where the young redhead gets off the bus in the city of New York, and it's supposed to like be showing how great New York is. And she was like, "One trip, one dream, I'm here. hey, where can a young prostitute get started in this town? So it's very obvious what she was there for.
Yeah, I mean, this is like a very well-known trope. Why you should be afraid of New York. You know, you're going to go there, and your young blonde white girl is going to be perverted by horrible urban youth.
Exactly.
Can we for a moment appreciate how wonderful Adam's singing is? Did you hear like how absolutely
Does I cough up a lung? Thanks.
melodic that singing was?
Yeah.
I thoroughly enjoyed listening to that. I
like everything. I like everything that comes out of Adam's mouth and hate everything that goes into it.
well, when he guffawed right there, there's probably a lot of spit coming out of his mouth.
Oh yeah. That's why I got my spit guard up.
It's so I don't pop my peas.
That's right. So I don't urinate on my mic.
Yeah. We did that the other weekend, right, Mike?
God, I hope not. I smell something on here, but it's not pee.
Okay, so the head pimp basically gives the young blonde girl like a wad of cash, he gives like a wad of cash to one of his guys in front of the blonde girl. Is like, hey, make sure to take care of her. You can get her over to like the women's shelter or the women's Y or whatever. And she goes down a dark alley with the two other pimps.
This is my second problem.
And I believe, don't they flash from them walking to Spawn to their dead bodies in the alleyway and Spawn standing over them, and then away to the next scene.
Basically, yeah. But this is my big problem is apparently there are alleys in this New York. There are not alleys in New York. But this New York is just riddled with them.
That's right.
But in real life, like, they're actually, I mean, there are like a couple, but they're very hard to find.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, there are not many alleys.
Because it's all solid building. It's all a solid building.
What about in the financial district? I found a couple alleys.
Did you?
Accidentally. But
they like it when you call them Allison, okay?
Well, what's funny though is you say that, but like if as we're watching this episode, if you're paying very close attention, there are actually alleys that connect to alleys that connect to alleys.
Yeah,
like it's not even
that. Yeah, that was.
It's not even like an alleyway that like cuts through a building. It's like New York is just alleys.
Yeah, it's like Paris in the French Revolution times, where like they've barricaded good portions of it, and there's just a rat's warren of little tunnels that run through it.
It's where the Eyes Wide Shut secret sex clubs meet. They can go down 5 or 6 different alleys.
That's the 1990s New York.
Oh yeah, how bad were the alleys in Seattle? I don't remember there being alleys in Seattle either.
No, there's plenty of alleys in Seattle, but like they're wide enough for you to drive like a car down, and like they're very clean because they actually drive the cleaning trucks down them that like do street cleanings. Like it's actually like I walk through alleys in Seattle all the time, but it's also they're all very well lit and there's plenty of space. So,
but that was my point. Like an alley like this, I remembered from when we all lived downtown together. Like, well, at least Adam and I did. Yeah. I don't ever remember walking by like peering down this dark alley. I mean, all the scuzzy shit was right out in the open, anyways.
Right,
exactly. No one gave a fuck. It didn't need to hide that down the alley. This is just some dude jerking off in the middle of First. No big deal.
That's right. Yeah, just shooting up in the storefront in the
Pretty
middle of
much.
downtown.
Yeah, there seems to be this inference, and this was in the comic as well, that basically like Spawn knows everything that happens in the alleys.
Yeah,
it's like, why do you care? Yeah, that's a weird self-imposed. Especially because his narrative, like, his larger narrative is about like CIA spooks and his wife, and like, why do you give a shit about this alley, dude?
Yeah.
He found, find your niche, right? Like he found his, and it's the fucking the Parisian maze of alleys in 1990s New York.
Yeah.
So doesn't that make him doesn't that just smack of like a C rank hero? If that like superheroes police the entire city. If he's like, this is my alley, he's like a sea rat. He's like the ramen rider. He's, he's like one of those heroes of the week.
It's weird because it's not just like, oh, this is my alley. It's like all alleys everywhere are connected to the Spawn.
And does he go after any like real crime in the?
No.
He just like I mean, I get it. Like the pimp is a trope, right?
Yeah, but from what I understand, like the literal meaning, the only thing that he finds meaning in is protecting his wife and her new family. Like that was like literally it. So, yeah. And I think that he's like in the alleyways of New York because because he's trying not to kill people, but he's still drawn to the darkness. And I think maybe his buddy that used to be a Hellspawn, Casliago or whatever his name is, basically like talks him into like, hey, you need to find this niche and you need to like stay in the darkness, but like remove yourself from.
I remember in the comic, they may have done it in the show, but in the comic, when he came back to Earth, he'd lost his memory, so that he didn't know. So he spent a long time like in this alley
basically,
trying to figure things out, and eventually, like pieced it together what his narrative was.
Gotcha.
But it was like a long time.
Yeah, he was like an unhoused individual essentially, right?
Yes,
like the imp from Wildcats.
Is he an anti-hero?
Yes, in that he does good, but he also commits murder.
It beats his wife.
He does, it beats his wife, and he doesn't really pursue bad guys. Like he's not interested in like, stopping crime or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
He's interested in his own personal revenge, and that's pretty much it.
So this appeals to revenge story, like.
Well, no, I mean he does good in that, like he punishes. He only murders bad people, quote unquote.
But hey, I love the Punisher for that same reason.
Well, I'll tell you about like the final tidbit of the series.
I knew we were Republicans. I knew it.
Okay, so the next scene is going to the hospital bed of a cop that got shot in the head, who's now being presented with an award from like the commissioner, and the award is like the size of a police shield, which then gives the cop that was shot in the head a flashback to what happened to him. We have to assume that a previous episode he got shot in the head in front of Spawn or some shit like that. So,
and this cop is named Twitch.
I had no idea what the hell was going on at that point.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't very clear. They had to. It was very bizarre. But Twitch's buddy, who I think is a police sergeant, is there watching over him.
It's his partner
as well.
Yeah, it's his partner.
Yeah. So we then cut back to the bodies of the dudes in the alleyway. I think there are cops there that have finally found the dudes. And then we get a weird voiceover about like needing to murder Twitch. Like somebody needing to murder Twitch. I don't even know where the voiceover was coming from. But we just see a nurse basically preparing a syringe of poison, obviously.
I thought it was the cop that gave him the award.
Yeah, it's
it?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
Banks. Yeah. It's Banks, the cop that gave him the award, or the commissioner or whatever. And he seems to be trying to set up the nurse to murder or make it look
Twitch.
To murder Twitch, but make it look like it was just too much
epinephrine
or something.
Yeah. But while she's in there about to shoot him up, like he comes to and was like, I don't want it. His partner then wakes up because they get a phone call, and the phone call apparently is about the guys that died in the alleyway, and his partner says, I told you to inform me about every crime that happens in every alleyway in New York.
Yeah, I'm the go-to person for all alley crime.
It's so specific.
So then he suits up to go look into this crime, and Twitch insists on going with them, despite the fact that he obviously still has brain damage. And I think during this whole scene, there's also like Twitch has some sort of prophetic vision of what happened. It like spouts it out to his partner.
Twitch can't remember who shot him.
And he can't sign his own name. He says that too.
Okay.
Because he can't sign his name in order to get discharged, so he just leaves.
Yeah, so these two cops are definitely in the comic. They're investigating Spawn.
So we then cut to Spawn in his Gothic cathedral with Cagliostro. Cagliostro is basically giving him a pep talk about how he needs to not be evil and how he can save his honor if he can convince Spawn from not being evil.
This is when we learn the second wonderful thing about Spawn that makes him such a compelling and rich character. That he fucked his ex-wife in the body of his best friend.
Oh, we find that out here? Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Sorry,
that's
I totally missed that.
I thought that was a thing he wanted to do, and that's why he was being told don't. He did that?
Apparently, it seems to infer he's already done it.
I thought that was actually the final episode is when he did that.
Yeah, it is kind of a capper move.
Yeah. No, apparently in the previous episode he did in fact disguise himself as Terry and fucked his wife.
What?
Yep. He disguised himself
What
as
the
his
fuck?
best friend who is married to his wife now, and he bangs his wife. Well, and see, this is the reason why I said Spawn is actually like a piece of shit. Ultimately, the child that his wife Wanda has from Spawn disguised as Terry impregnating her is actually the prophetic child to bring about Armageddon and destroy all of existence. So,
Yeah, it's one of those plot lines.
and that was the real reason why Megalobos
You mean-
said...
Nonsense? Is that...
Yes, exactly. But that's the real reason why Melbulge sent Spawn to Earth.
It's a kind of
Supposedly.
It's a kind of bolognese.
Yeah.
Oh, so it was
Right.
his,
The
his
Bolognese devil
super
was the
secret
return.
mission was to
Bang his ex-wife.
essentially impregnate her with the spawn of hell,
Yeah.
literally, to bring about Armageddon.
Oh, it was like that Keanu Reeves movie with Connie Nielsen.
Yeah, John Wick 4.
Constantine, right? Constantine was a baller movie, dude.
No,
Constantine was an
also
even better.
had-
It was an even better comic.
Yeah, it was, a good
Was
comic.
it?
Yeah.
So that's a good one to, if I
Was it
wanted to
Constant-
read a comic, read.
Well, I mean, the art has not aged well, but it's grisly.
No, it
Have
had
you
a-
seen the new the Sandman series, Derek?
The what series?
The Sandman series? Constantine's in that. It's
Oh,
like
cool.
it's a female Constantine, but she's in it.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole premise of Constantine. I don't give a shit if it's a dude or a chick. I'll read it. I'll check it out. I'm an equal opportunity employer here.
Hey, you could put a rock in a trench coat and he'd watch it.
Hell yeah, dude. The Rock in a trench coat. Fuck yeah.
The Devil's Advocate. That's what it was.
The Rock as the devil's advocate in a trench coat.
Yeah.
Hunting demons.
That's right.
I think we've got the fucking script winner of 2025 just staring
Yeah.
us in the face, boys.
TM, we've mailed it to ourselves. Don't even think about it, listeners.
That's what this podcast is. It's us mailing it to ourselves. So it's the audio version of that. Okay, next scene. Got the cops. They come across the bodies. They can't find any blood. And the obvious thing that happened was they were licked clean, according to Twitch.
Yeah, they were
So
attacked
Twitch-
by wild dogs and licked clean.
Twitch has like some sort of like farsight, right? Or like he's clairvoyant, or is he just
Well,
like
I think now that
really
he's-
fucking observant?
No, I think he's clairvoyant now that he's been shot in the head. I think is what it is. I think the brain is giving him superpowers.
Yeah, he's supposed to be like, the cop's cop. He can, pull the crime scene apart like Sherlock Holmes. He really comes off like kind of like a savant,
Yeah.
like kind of the cop Rain Man a little bit.
Yeah.
So they're at the crime scene. They're saying it's wild dogs to rip these guys apart and lick them clean. They then see there's like snow that's been scooped up, and Twitch is like, I remember when I was a kid, and we used to pour molten sugar into the snow and we'd eat it like candy. And I was like, all right, so you're saying that people ate the blood. And that's when Lisa Wu, the reporter, shows up and just walks right in through this fucking crime scene and starts talking to these guys. I thought she was a cop initially, but then they were like, "Oh no, we don't want to see this in the news." I was like, "She's a fucking reporter? What the fuck?"
Yeah, get her out
Do
of
your
there.
jobs.
The cop even tells her like, "Go away," and she just stands there.
And she's like, "No," and he's like, "Oh well, I tried."
Well, I guess it's a free country.
Lazy cops.
Yeah, goddamn cops.
Cut to a scene of them like trying to do research on like what happened to these guys and looking at crime scene photos. And
Yeah, they got a
whatever.
coroner's report.
Yeah. And it's like bullshit. And then we cut to the blonde girl that came off the bus, picking up some dude at a club and eating him, obviously. And it seems that she's a vampire. And that's when the reporter that was on the whole case finds her, and they start having a candid conversation. where we find out that the blonde girl Lily is, what is she, a werewolf, or is she actually like a vampire? I can't remember what they
I
said.
think there's a different C word I would use. It's confusing. It's a confusing conversation.
Okay, that's fair enough. It is a confusing conversation. But yeah, I think Lily is a vampire, and then we find out that Lisa Wu, or whatever her name is the reporter,
bounty hunter.
Is a bounty hunter from heaven. But we also, I think we get revealed here also that Lily is from heaven as well. She was a vampire that was sent from heaven.
It's not really clear if it's heaven or hell, like how exactly this creature came into being.
Yeah. But I thought she was supposed to be like working. She was at the very least working on behalf of heaven, because heaven wants the Hellspawn dead. So
I thought she was working to get back in the good graces of heaven.
Yeah.
Because didn't they say that she had been like kicked out of the bounty hunter club? And
yeah,
she's
the
like,
masters kicked
down.
her out, and
Yeah.
I have no idea who that is. But
To go back to one thing real quick, though, I don't know if you mentioned it, when they were reading the autopsy report, he's like, wow, it is verified. They were licked clean. Like, what fucking autopsy report was like, hey,
that's right.
cause of death, jugular rigged out. But, most importantly, someone licked the bodies completely clean.
We then cut to a ultimate scene of this show, of this episode, rather. Lily is in I think a different Gothic cathedral.
Yeah, as we all know, New York is lousy with abandoned Gothic cathedrals.
Also, very confusing.
They're on the opening of every alley.
Yep.
I thought she was in the one where Spawn had his little blade hanging out.
No, I think this was a separate one, because she then gets attacked by the head pimp, who's like, what'd you do with my men? I know they were with you when they died. She kills him, starts feeding on him, and then Spawn shows up and is like, hey, what are you? And she drags the head pimp's body into a crypt. And Spawn says, oh, have you been sleeping here? As she cuddles up to a skeleton. He then goes into the crypt after her, and she jumps out and closes it on top of him. He somehow manages to break free, but in the process, he notices that when the beam of sunlight that shifts in a 45-degree angle across the floor in a matter of like 2 seconds touches Lily, she gets burned and singed a little bit.
I have a point of order question.
Sure.
Isn't it nighttime?
Yes, it is nighttime.
Isn't it nighttime right now?
Yeah.
Hard to know.
It is very bizarre. So anyway, a fight ensues. Spawn gets fucked up by Lily. He's got his neon green blood spilled everywhere. Mm-hmm. And he winds up grabbing the stick that was used to prop open the tomb and just chucks it through the stained glass window, letting all of the nighttime sunlight in, and completely fries and kills Lily.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And that's when Lisa Wu, a.k.a. Jade, shows up in her bounty hunter form, where she's wearing, I think, like a bright green leotard. She looks kind of like, what's that, Chun-Li?
No, she looks
From,
like
Street
one of the
Fighter?
characters from Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
Yeah, she looks like she's from Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
But she shows up in like a green Mortal Kombat outfit with two swords and is like, I'm going to kill you, Spawn, but not now because you're too injured. I'm going to wait for you to heal and then we're going to fight. And then walks away. And that's it. That's it. It ends right there. That's the end of the episode. Boom.
Yep.
And also, I think it's very true to the comics in that, as I recall, Spawn really doesn't do anything.
Yeah, yes. He did nothing this entire episode except for maybe question Lily.
Yeah.
And then broke a window. And that's
Yeah,
it.
yeah. He committed a little property crime, a little light vandalism.
Which does lead me, I really do like the descriptor they have for this episode on Wikipedia, because it is, Spawn befriends a vampire named Lily, but when she attacks him and reveals that she is sent by heaven to kill him, he wastes no time in frying her with sunlight.
That's literally like...
That's literally the whole
does
episode.
nothing and then cooks a vampire. The end.
That's just a word-for-word description of the last 5 minutes of this episode.
Exactly.
Oh, dear God. Guys, we haven't even been... It's not even been an hour.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
This has been
Well,
one
don't
step
worry.
above the mask.
Usually I could stretch something like this into 4 hours, but no.
Yeah.
Not this time.
Don't worry, I have some criticisms and thoughts.
Ooh, okay. We're gonna post.
All right. So what did everybody think?
I loved it.
Man, they,
Fucking. You're the worst.
It's just so 90s. It's so everything is edgy, and it's also like very hard to understand any of the physical space. Like, where are these characters in relationship to each other? Where is any of this happening? Where is it set exactly?
That is a very good point. Like, I think probably about 80% of the scenes or 80% of the actual visual shots are extreme close-ups of faces and bodies.
Or eyeballs, just like the most extreme close-up on the eyeball. I feel like the only space we even get like...
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, the only space that we really get any kind of understanding of is the hospital room.
Yeah.
Because we all kind of understand what hospital rooms look like.
Yeah, because even the bus stop, it looks like there's a bus pulling up underneath like an aqueduct that then...
It's not even a bus stop.
Terminates into a building. Yeah, it's very weird.
Yeah, it's like walking up Alaskan under the old fucking viaduct in Seattle.
Yeah.
Like, you're just like, and this is where the bus drops you off, folks. And you're like, what?
It's actually pretty accurate for Penn Station, except, just a little cleaner.
We drop you off at the entrance to all the alleyways.
Yeah.
Welcome to New York.
All alleyways, New York.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's very hard to understand, like, what's happening in the scene, where people are, especially because, like, they're always cutting to Spawn, except Spawn's just two triangles in a dark corner somewhere of his glowing
He's just
eyes.
brooding.
Yeah.
All Spawn does is brood.
Basically.
He's not even like Batman, like brooding while being vigilant. Spawn's just like, I'm fucking grumpy.
Yeah.
Man, I really wish I banged my wife.
Nobody better come into my alley.
I'm just upset I look like a meatball.
Yeah.
Meatball Spawn.
He's the ultimate edgelord.
Yeah, he's it's up there. And even the show and the comic was like this. It's just like the tone is just kind of all over the place. Like we've got street level, like, gritty New York crime drama kind of going on, and then we also have some sort of weird political intrigue, and then we also have like heaven and hell are fighting each other.
Yeah. I mean, you are right. This really is NYPD neon green and black.
Yeah.
It kind of piqued my interest a little bit. I was interested in... I mean, dude, this jammed 3.5 minutes of cartoon into 22 minutes and 46 seconds.
No, that's definitely true.
Absolutely what it did.
They definitely stretched that plot.
But I was very curious. It was well enough done, and maybe it was just the edgelord 90s, like, where I was like, oh my god, that's awesome. Just to understand, like, what the hell was happening. Like, who shot, what they call him, Mr. Twitch? Fucking, I forget.
Yeah,
Skinny
Twitch.
Cop, not the fat cop.
Twitch.
Like, he seems to know that Spawn exists, but he doesn't know that Spawn exists, and he's like, he's out there. And he was talking to the reporter, and she was like, oh yeah, tell me who he is or whatever. And then it turns out that she's a fucking assassin from heaven, who I would think if you were an assassin from heaven, you wouldn't wear like a lime green Melina kind of outfit going on with swords. You just keep on your pantsuit,
Oh,
protect
yeah.
yourself.
You know what they say, pantsuits come from heaven.
But on the other side of that coin is like, I think I'd probably watch 2 more episodes of this and then just go get like a Spawn in 5 minutes video on YouTube and not watch it again. Because like I want to see my superheroes do something super instead of just fucking being grumpy in a corner.
Yeah, this is not the cartoon or comic book for you if you want to see heroics.
Yeah.
Like he's got like chains. He used the chains like all of like one time. Like, dude, you can like fling these chains around and do cool shit with them. Like, fight the vampire lady. Like, she's beating your ass. You're the Spawn of hell. Like,
so
come on, man.
One of the weird mechanics that Spawn's supposed to have is that if he uses up all his power, he goes back to hell, and so he has like a limited amount of power it's never really clear how it's limited. Like, the mechanic is never very well established. So he's always basically trying to, like, conserve using his powers.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Matt, you're breaking up on us. Yeah.
Was that Matt breaking up? That wasn't
Yeah, it was
on my
Matt.
end?
No, it wasn't
Okay.
your end. It was Matt.
Okay.
All right.
Well, I just gave you a very important explanation for how Spawn works.
Okay.
I'm gonna step away.
We'll splice
real
it
quick.
together.
Good
What was
point,
going down?
Matt. Good point.
Yeah, good point, man. Mike, what did you think? Give us your take on Spawn here. Did you want to see more? Did you want to know more about your Spawn buddy? Or
Yeah. You want to get your Spawn on?
I'm agnostic about this. Like, I didn't love it, but I didn't hate it, but it was awful. So that's why, like, I hate anti-heroes, but this is the kind of anti-hero that I could like. Like,
Why?
I because he's just so, like, pedestrianly flawed. Like, he's just like us normal, average guys who are just, like, insecure. And if we got superpowers, what would we use them for? Probably skulking around in an alley and spying on our family.
I mean, I would at least use them to keep some proximity to a working toilet, you know?
No, man. Dude, alleys are where street poops happen. You don't know that?
I do know that.
Apparently there's a poop map of California.
oh yeah, what did they like map out all the bathrooms or?
No, it's
was
just
like
it's
not
just
full of
the
poop.
state
No,
of
San
California, but it's
Francisco.
colored brown.
No, it was actually San Francisco. It was during some debate. I think DeSantis brought out a poop map.
Wow.
That highlighted all the poop in San Francisco.
This is the quality of our political discourse.
So, Matt, when every time you said we're Republican, how much did you want to throw up in your mouth? Like, what did it hurt? Like, on a existential
No,
level?
I like it. I think it's great. I love
Is
being
it
a Republican.
masochism, then?
I'm really afraid that my daughter's going to get victimized by pimps if she ever goes into the city.
No, dude, she's being raised in the city. She's one of those
Yeah.
street smart urban youth who's going to be
She's
you
gonna,
know.
she's
But
going
she's gonna be a pimp.
Yeah, she's going to be turning out the tourists.
I was going to say, yeah,
Yeah.
she's the one fucking snagging the girls from Iowa at the bus stop.
Yeah.
She's going to know all the alleys.
Yeah.
And which ones are the
She's
good
like,
ones and the bad
hey,
ones?
girl, you just get off the bus. And they're like, you're 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, bitch.
She's coming home from school like in the next 2 days and be like, Dad, I found an alley. And you'd be like, God fucking damn it.
Dad, today I had to cut a bitch.
For the last alley in New York. It's all mine. Well, I hated this. I hated every bit of it.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Like even like knowing, like I do remember the movie, and I was very fond of how dumb and stupid that movie was. I feel like it's probably like one of the great movies to like sit around and like heckle and like have a good time with your friends with.
I saw
Yeah.
it in theaters, and then I never saw it again.
We
Nor do
might
I
have
care
seen it in
to.
theaters together. Honestly, it wouldn't surprise
Possible.
me. if we-
Yeah, it's very possible.
like around the time from when it came out. Yeah, I hated this. This cartoon was horrific.
It's trying so hard on every level.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like it. Well, I don't. Well, who cares what you don't like? I care.
What do you guys think? Should we vote to keep it? I say we keep it.
I gotta vote to kick because I don't want to see any. I don't want to see any more of it.
It's good. This is one of those things where you know it's just going to be more of the same. This is one of the ones that, just like Prince Valiant, where we're like, God damn it, every fucking episode of this is going to be this shit.
Yeah.
This one is just going to be 22 minutes and 46 seconds of green triangles in the dark, just being like, I look like a fucking meatball.
I'm sad.
Yeah.
I'm sad, and also I'm a rapist.
I'm a sad rapist meatball that beats his wife.
My wife doesn't like meatball dick, so I have to use my best friend. Like, come on, Spawn. I thought you were cool until I watched this show. You're this edgy, broody, fucking 14-year-old. It's like,
I was pro meatball dicks till I saw this.
You know what I'm scared of? After watching this, I am scared
Meatballs.
of...
Meatballs.
excuse me, no. I'm scared of the Max.
The Max? You think it's not going to hold up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I remember like the Max very fondly, and I thought it was like on the same league and like the exact same level as the Spawn cartoon.
What's the Max?
So, it's kind of another sort of anti-hero.
It's 90s.
Oh.
It's very
It is
90s.
yeah, but it's a little
Are
bit
there
more
any like
psychedelic than this.
anti-heroes left, or did we realize that anti-hero is just kind of dumb?
Well, see, when you get a hero and an anti-hero close to each other, they just snap together.
They exert so much force that they rip all cinema apart.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, are we just gone with the 2023 version of that? Every superhero in film is now flawed.
No, I mean, we definitely still have anti-heroes. I just watched The Killer on Netflix, and it's an anti-hero.
Yeah, very much so. But I feel like the anti-hero was like much more of a bigger thing in the 90s, because I feel like there was a certain cynicism that the 90s brought about with like
tell us more,
Everything.
Professor 90s.
no, I'm thinking like
Fucking
the,
everything, dude. Nobody
yeah,
listens
everything,
to
but, like-
angsty fucking rock music anymore.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
But I'm also
go
thinking
turn
like
on-
Chandler from Friends, like that type of humor, that like weird sarcastic humor, I guess really what I'm getting at.
Yeah.
That was like very 90s, and I feel like that was that type of cynicism that bred was very much alive in the 90s.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
it's Gen X humor.
Disaffected.
Disaffected Gen X, like funny haha because life sucks and fuck you. Like that was Gen X, and like this whole millennials and boomers, Gen X gets left out of it. It's like nobody even remembers.
Fuck
one
you,
cares
you
about
Gen X
us.
weirdo.
No one cares about us.
Nobody
Yeah.
cares about me, Gen
Nobody
X.
cares about
I'm a
us except for
40-year-old
maybe
white man.
Winona
Nobody
Ryder.
cares what I think.
No,
Yeah.
I mean generationally. I don't mean like like as a
Dude,
as a
that
cis
is
white
early
man,
onset
yeah.
Fox News Republican right there.
Yeah, there it is. I knew it. We're Republicans now.
okay.
Whoop,
Yeah.
there it is.
Whoop, we're Republicans.
Oh God. What brought out like? Where did that attitude, humor, whatever, come from in the 90s? I mean, yeah, I know it was a Gen X thing, but like, what
Like
happened
everything was great back
societally? Because yeah, everything
then.
was
like
Yeah, there were no problems at all.
college was affordable, minimum wage. It's the same now as it was back then. So think about that. And
There definitely
College
wasn't
was
rampant
affordable.
racism.
The Cold War ended.
I mean, was it like?
and the internet didn't suck balls.
Yeah,
Maybe-
it was
Yeah.
busy sucking dick because it was only porn at that point.
Everything was.
Everything was porn.
Porn in chat rooms, ASL? Question mark.
ASL. Oh my god.
Yes.
But no, seriously, think about it. Like the '90s actually were a boom. Like there was a lot of positivity going on in the '90s and the economy and everything else. And like, so why was Gen X so angry? I mean, it created some awesome fucking music and some iconic movies and everything, and Spawn, evidently.
Spawn.
Man, why was Gen X just so pissed?
That's what it was. Is like we wanted to have something to rebel against, to be upset about, but there was nothing.
Yeah.
There wasn't anything that it just pissed us off.
Oh, so there was no machine to rage against, so you guys were just
So we had to
mad.
invent one.
It's so true.
No, it's not.
No, it's
Yes,
not.
it
Yeah.
is.
This takes us to a bad place. This show is bad for us.
So I'm for, Matt's against. Derek, do you want to keep the show or not?
I think we're getting into the same realm. Like if it's going to be something that stays on Amazingly Terrible, it needs to be amazingly terrible and not just repetitive. Like, ugh, we're watching this shit again, so punt it. Because I would be impressed if there was an episode where I'm like, wow, Spawn actually fought somebody for like 7 or 8 minutes using his cool powers and shit.
No, hold on a second.
No, he's going to
Remember,
stand in the fucking corner, and you're going to go from big triangles to squinty slit triangles, and then he's going to say like a bunch of one-word fucking responses like, ugh.
But remember,
Come at me. Come at me, bro.
In the previous episode, he does bang his wife with his best friend's dick. Remember that.
I bet we don't even see it.
But it's not his best friend's. It's not his best friend's dick. It's his dick in best friend form. So he's really fucking going to Pound Town with Meatball Dick.
That's fair.
But he's using fucking hell magic to make it look.
Make it look like
his
friend
best
dick.
Friend dick. Could you imagine, like, if he transported it into his friend's body and he's like, all right, I'm going to give it to my wife, and he looks down, he's got, like, a fucking micropene. Like, he's like, oh, god damn it.
Yeah.
Wait, this is what she said too? Oh, shit.
Yeah. Fucking god damn it.
Then he must feel like total shit because he's like, this guy's winning on personality alone.
Yeah. Like,
I had my hog, and this guy, he's so good that she's sticking with it, even with this.
yeah. He's got fucking skills.
Maybe it was because I beat her all the time. Like in that flashback I just had.
Yeah, why is this our hero? Why? I think Mike said it best. It's just like, it's 14-year-olds. It's a 14-year-old understanding of the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a 14-year-old trying to be edgelord. Is really just the entire point of this comic, or at the very least, the very point of this TV series.
Guys, I appreciate that you listened to something I said.
We always listen to what you say, Mike.
Yeah, Mike.
We
You're
might
my
just
best
not
friend.
acknowledge it.
Wait,
Damn it!
Wait.
I was so close. I was so close.
Wait.
I'm coming for you.
You know where I live.
Wait, yeah, I do.
I don't know.
All right, so we're not keeping this episode. So that's the
So
that's the keep or delete portion of the show.
let's move on to redemption.
An insurmountable pile of wonderful awfulness.
Oh fuck me! I forgot I had to redeem something.
Yeah.
All right. So I've made a decision.
All right.
Based in homage to the fact that we just watched Spawn and we did not see The Violator, I'm going to vote The Little Clowns of Happy Town up to the watch list.
Nice.
What the
Does
hell
that have
is
John
that?
Leguizamo in it?
Yeah, seriously,
I can only hope so.
I want some John Legs.
Johnny Legs.
Johnny Legs.
He's got legs, and he walks around with them.
We want cartoons 26 hours a day.
Oh shit! I don't know how David does the rolling here. So
Dude, this is our opportunity. The four of us just pick the fucking next one.
What are you?
And then we don't roll. And then David doesn't know until he edits the episode.
You see,
No,
you see,
we
listeners.
can't do
Do you
that.
see how off the wall and wacky it's gotten here?
No, I'm gonna pull up a random roller and I'm gonna roll.
No.
Oh, fuck off.
Come
Don't
on.
spoil the fun. Let's just pick one.
Okay.
Edgelord 6'9". Check it in.
If we were gonna fuck one of our best friend's wives with this cartoon, what cartoon would you pick?
The Little Clowns of Funky Town.
The Micropene cartoon. Which,
All right, hold on. Let me see here.
God, this really did get derailed, didn't it? Holy
Yeah.
shit.
Oh, yeah,
I guess
we
that's
did,
what happens
we
when
did.
there's 3 minutes of substance crammed into a half hour.
3236 is the number that we have left. Oh, hold on. Oh, no. There. Shit.
That's our random index.
I gotta put
Congratulations, folks. It's another Spider-Man.
Oh, shit. Why did I put Spider-Man back in here? Damn it, Derek.
Because we're tired of watching it, Adam.
Why don't you remind me?
There's
Negative.
too
No.
much Spider-Mans.
Yeah, we've had all the spiders. We've had all the men. We've had all the spiders.
Too many Peter Spider-Mans.
Spider-Man. Spider-Man.
Spider-Man. Okay, does Spawn go? What do we do? Okay, I'll let David update
Hold
this
on.
sheet.
No. We have to update it. So I think what I'm doing.
We hit Control A, delete, save. That's
I
what
think I got it. I think I got it. Okay. Yes.
Or David tomorrow comes in, gets the recordings, like, oh, let's go check the spreadsheet. It's gone. Gets to the end of this and is just like, these
'Cause
fucking assholes.
Yeah.
D minus D60. Yes. Okay, yeah, we got it. All right, I think I got it updated properly. Let me go here. Random generator from number 1 to 3252.
No, because... Oh, yeah, you're right. You're right. Okay.
What is episode 2385?
Sorry, 2000 what?
385.
385. We go highest, so
We go
2003. Yeah, 2391. Guess what?
Wait, hold on. Do we go? We don't. We do go higher. Okay, yes. So what is it?
2391, row 160. SWAT cats.
SWAT cats.
Yes.
Oh, that sounds
Awesome.
fucking awful. I can't wait.
25 episodes. 1993 to 94.
Nice. All right.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's even spelled with a K. SWAT.
And we're looking at episode number 3.
I remember these fuckers.
I will bet you $10 that it's a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles ripoff.
Well, yeah, it's like an activity plus
And
an
an
animal.
Oh, dude. The description sounds incredible. Evidently, these two cats are pilots.
Ooh.
And then they get grounded because they disagree with the commanding officer. And then, so they then get assigned to junkyard duties, legitimately, evidently. That's what happens in the military, folks. When you
Yeah.
piss off your skipper, you're at junkyard duties. Then they
Peeling
build
potatoes.
their own jet from junk, and then they have secret identities as the SWAT cats.
Nice.
This sounds great. Oh, dude, and their jet's totally an F-14. Fucking sweet.
Yeah.
Are they actually cats?
Yeah, dude.
So it's not
Of
like
course.
wildcats.
No,
'Cause
this
that
one will make you
pissed me
happy.
off.
Yeah.
All right.
This is an acronym. This
What's-
time the acronym is the first word. SWAT's the acronym.
Ah.
In Wildcats, CATS was the acronym.
Cats. I get it.
All right. Derek, what's the name of episode 3?
Episode 3, when strikes Mutilor.
What? When strikes Mutilor.
It's like word salad.
What I'm seeing is the wrath of Dark Cat.
Wind strikes.
Oh, this is SWAT Cats: The Radical Squadron, which is
What?
yeah,
There's
it's
another one? Nice.
Yep.
Okay.
Wait a minute. That's from 1993 to 94. Is there?
Oh wait, it is the Wrath of Dark Cat. Where the fuck did that come from? It was pulled off. Anyways.
Interesting.
Yes.
Oh,
Okay.
that's season 2, episode 3.
Oh. Okay.
Wow, this went for
Yeah.
2 seasons.
I think it went for 3.
No, 2 with a
2?
special.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Is that-
special.
Is that cat with a K? Yeah, it's cat with a K.
Yeah, the correct way to spell cat.
I'm surprised they
right.
didn't go at KATZ. I mean, it was the 90s, man. We talked about
Yeah,
how
that's
edgy
true.
the fucking 90s was.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Cats.
I like the restraint.
Excellent point on restraint, but
All right. On a future episode of Amazingly Terrible, we'll be watching SWAT Cats, Episode 3, The Wrath of Dark Cat. But next time on Amazingly Terrible, we'll be watching Bobby's World, Episode 62, Bobby the Genius.
Mm-hmm. Is anybody looking forward to that? Sounds like you are, Mike.
perfect.
I think it'll be good. I'm looking forward to it.
I actually watched Bobby's World when I was a kid, so
Yeah, so did I.
Yeah, me too, but I'm not looking forward to it.
well,
I'm a grown up now. I like cool things like Spawn. It's for adults.
Yeah,
Like Spawn.
I'm a fucking edgelord.
Spawn.
Yeah.
Or Spawn. Spawn.
I think a compelling narrative should have a murdered hooker in it.
Yes, always. Hold on. Why? How do we not have Spawn on our amazingly terrible movie watch list? I'm gonna fix that.
No, don't fix that.
okay, but let's not fix it and say we did.
Yeah, like we do with everything.
Like our parents used to tell us. Let's not and say we did about everything.
That's so 90s.
Yeah, like our parents did when they were raising us. The 90s were a dark time for everyone.
It was kind of.
I love how, like, no matter what the characterization of the 90s, you go along with it, Adam. It was about time. It totally was.
It was the best of times. It was the worst of times.
That was the 90s.
Hey, I'm just trying to be a good improv partner. I'm just yes-anding the hell out of it.
Yeah, that's right. I know it.
Adam is...
You give me permission, thank you.
Well, in all fairness, I'm not yes-anding you. I'm just yesing you. That's all.
Yeah, you're just agreeing. Uh-huh.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. I brought nothing to the table. Enjoy. Okay, all right. We're gonna stop this.
Yeah.
Yeah,
For
let's
Amazingly Terrible, I've been Adam.
I am disappointed with myself and with what
Your
we do with
coworkers.
this show.
And all of us.
Yeah.
We all are a little ashamed of ourselves.
And I'm Matt.
I am AI bot Mike.
No, you can't get out of it like that, Mike. No. No, you have to leave your name on there.
Yeah.
No qualifiers.
I'm guilty.
I learned racism from reading the internet.
I don't even know what to say to that. I've been Derek.
All right.
Nice. And we miss David tremendously. Why was he not here to save us from ourselves?
Our jokes probably would have
He
been
saw
funny.
this episode and was just like,
It's like, nah.
that was fucking trash. I'm not going tonight.
No, David was like, nah, I'm not going out like that. I'm going to stay home and work on my AI bots of Matt, Mike, Derek, and Adam.
Yeah, they just talk about how to poop.
Amazingly Terrible is produced by David and Adam. Music by Josh Woodward. Send your email to monotonouslyterrific@amazinglyterrible.com.
Why are we trashing millennials now?
Because
I
trash Generation X all the time. So
I
fuck
hate
them.
I hate the
that's what you
Zoomers.
fucking
Oh,
boomers do, man.
Yeah, let's cut this out just in case millennials are our primary market.
I'm a fucking millennial, dumbass.
Oh, that's right, you are.
You are a millennial dumbass.
God, what
I am.
trash.
You're a millennial dumbass.
I'm optimistic and happy. I'm not fucking Gen X mad and angry and broody.
Yeah.
Edgelordy.
That's why we keep you around as a pet.
You know what? It all started with Oregon Trail. When you fucking die from dysentery just from walking down a damn trail, it sets off a little bit of cynicism in your mind.
Listen, I played Oregon Trail too, shit dog.
Oh, you played the
Yeah,
second
but we
one?
played it
Awesome.
first.
Wow.
I mean, yeah, you did play it first because I was like 2.
Yeah. So, we would.
That's God. I don't think you were 2. I'm not super strong at math to going to a public education, but I think you were older than 2.
Let's look it up. When did Oregon Trail come out?
I didn't play it that year. I didn't play it the day it came out.
Fuck you, yes you
There
did.
were lines
I'm
around
sure
the block.
You did with your, Carl Sam. No, wait, it wasn't Carl Sammer. What's it called? Oh, I didn't go until 6th grade, so I don't remember.
Yeah,
Carl Sandburg was our middle school, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
I know it's the middle school. I'm trying to remember the elementary school. It's so difficult.
Stratford?
Stratford.
Stratford? Yeah.
Stratford.
Holy shit. All right, let's play a little bit of trivia here. Don't look it up. Okay.
Okay.
Oregon Trail, as we knew it as kids, actually came out in 1985, so I was 2. When was the first unpublished coding of the Oregon Trail actually produced that led to the first commercialized production of it in 1985? Just take a guess at the year.
1972.
Adam?
I'm looking-
Adam, you went. Yep.
I'm looking up when the actual Oregon Trail was
No,
blazed.
look it up.
What? 1852. 1852.
Oh, God damn it. That's the best answer.
That's the nerd answer right there.
Coded in 1852.
Got a guess?
1976.
Man, Adam is fucking 1971. I
Oh,
would not
shit.
have guessed that. Yeah.
Wow.
It was the very first, essentially, production of the Oregon Trail. Just it wasn't published, and then it was a bunch of, kind of indie games or whatever. And then 1985 was the Oregon Trail, as we all played. I think I played it in. The first time I saw it, I want to say was in 3rd grade.
It was kind of a
Third
collection
grade.
of mini games in a way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So third grade for me would have been kindergarten was 89, first was 90, and 1, 2, 3, 93.
Did anybody ever beat it?
Yeah.
I actually have beaten it, and I did not beat it when I was a kid. When I was on the USS Nimitz and we were in the yard, there's Oregon Trail online, and you can play the actual OG game in a web browser now. And so days where we had to be stuck on the ship, we would do Oregon Trail by committee, and we'd have all the dudes in the shop, and you get up to the point, and you're like, okay, what are we going to do? And then we'd cast votes, and then whatever vote won, that's the 1 through 4 or whatever that we'd select, and we beat it a couple times.
Huh.
Yeah.
We made it to Oregon.
When I played it on a floppy disk and got pissed off and pulled the disk out and ripped it in half.
That's how you beat a game.
Wait, you ripped a floppy disk in half as a kid?
Oh yeah.
Adam was excessively
He had these meaty hands.
emotional.
Yeah. They called me Meatball Hands.
Full ham fists.
And they would always hide their wives when Adam came around because he had those meatball hands.
They still do.